Good morning and welcome. I'm so excited that you've gotten up on a Sunday morning to listen to this Facebook Live because I'm here to share with you 3 secrets to overcoming the fear that's blocking you from getting out and speaking in front of a group. How many of you spend the night before you're about to go out and speak in front of a group, facilitate, tell your true life story, and as you're in bed, you're rolling over in your mind over and over all the things that could go wrong? Maybe you're afraid you'll forget what you say. Maybe you're afraid your words will trip up on your tongue like it's happening to me now. Maybe you're afraid that you just won't be able to be you and bring yourself to your group. Fear masquerades as nervousness and it's often gotten in my way when I've gone to speak on stage. So why I'm here this morning is because I want to share with you some of my time and true techniques to help me stay grounded in my body so that I can really bring my excitement to the people I'm talking to. Because incitement and fear masquerade as each other. If you're here today, I want to let you know that I'm committed to helping you with what you're struggling with. Because there's never been a better time to be a woman who is sharing her message, her story, facilitating a group, bringing forth what's really authentic in you that you've learned through your true life experience into the world. If you are here with me live, please post below anything that you'd like to get out of this call today. Anything that you're struggling with around staying calm, staying confident, and not letting fear overcome you when you're in front of a group. I haven't always been able to keep myself calm when I've been on stage. Over the last 15 years of performing and teaching to hundreds of women through the YoniVerse monologues, through my storytelling performing, and through helping women really craft a message that's honest and personable so that they can spread their message further. In all the work that I've done, what I've come to do is be able to take time before I climb on stage. And that's really the secret. I remember in the before times, I was invited to speak at a benefit in Berkeley for this huge organization that was trying to raise money for peace in Israel. And I was so nervous that I just kept doing things. I kept, fussing with my hair. I kept looking over my notes. I kept twiddling with my phone. I was just trying to let go of what was really, really in my body. And my excitement for sharing my story got hijacked by my fear. I just kept speeding up. So there I am on stage with a ginormous velvet curtain and a beautiful audience before me. And the music started and I was frozen. I could feel my feet turning into cement and my breath getting tighter and tighter. I wasn't sure how I was going to get myself to even speak in that moment because I felt so frozen. Eventually, I just leaned forward, stepped out, and started talking. The people who asked me to speak said it was one of the most amazing stories they heard, but I knew inside that I was so scared that I would not be able even to speak. From that moment on, I started getting really curious. What would it take for me to have the confidence to actually be in touch with my excitement and my aliveness and bring that as my first step onto stage? And that's what I'm going to share with you today. Some of those tried and true techniques that I teach the women in my storytelling program every year so that they can step onto stage and share their story without the fear hijacking their excitement to be there, to be alive, and to be speaking. Now, these tips can be used for anything that you're doing. They could be used for what I'm doing right now, sharing on a video. They can be used when you are sitting one-on-one with someone and you're really wanting to share with them something that's authentic about your experience, a story you want to tell. And it can be used for larger audiences in person. Now, one of the things I want to share with you is I may not be able to tell you every storytelling trick here today. So I have something free I want to offer you at the end of this video. So please stay on till the end because I have a gift for you. So right now, I want to share with you my first tip on how to stay in touch with your excitement and get out of the overwhelm of fear and stay calm in your excitement so that you can remember what you're supposed to say and who you're talking to. So the first trick I want to share with you is go someplace where you're undisturbed before you go on stage. Oftentimes, I'll sneak off to the bathroom and I'll lock the door and I'll have some time to myself where no one can interrupt me, ask me any questions about where something needs to go. And I'll take that time by myself to do these exercises. If you're at home, easy. If you're in a public space, find a private space. And the first thing I'm going to recommend you do is take off your shoes. There's something really powerful about letting the soles of our feet land on the electromagnetic field of the earth and just pull us down a little. Pull us down and in into our bodies. Oftentimes I'll imagine that the bottoms of my feet have little eyes that open up energetically so that I can drop down en route. That visualization helps me feel connected to something bigger than my fear, bigger and more grounded. Oftentimes, I recommend my clients actually open their legs up a little bit wider. If you're on this call today, try it out. Try and see if this works for you, even for a minute, if you can. Open up your legs a little bit. Soften, sink your feet into the ground. And just notice what changes in your body. The second tip is to start slowing down your breath. What's true is we are mammals. And when we get excited or afraid, one of our automatic responses is to speed up, and that includes our breath. So before climbing on stage, if you can, slow down your breath. Hands on your belly, hands on your chest, breathing in, and slowly exhaling all the way down through your legs into your feet. Imagining that being excited and alive doesn't have to be scary. I love breathing in my nose and making a small sound with my mouth. So I can tell my nervous system that it's okay. And that I have a gift to give. By slowing down my breath, I can start to feel the fear dissolving as I become more here. This is also super helpful when you step on stage, that your breath is slowed down, that you're speaking at a slower pace, because your listeners, your audience, your clients, your students are digesting what you're saying. And if you speak too fast, if you're breathing too fast, if you're panting, it's harder for them to digest what you're saying. So slowing down is one of the best ways to get people to actually tune in and listen to what you're saying. So imagine you're backstage, you're in the restroom, you're at home, your feet are opening towards the earth. You're breathing slowly in and out, in and out. now we're going to bend your knees. Just ever so slightly, soften your knees. This will ignite your thighs. That will move energy up into your pelvis and up through your spine. I want to share that this is from my Qigong practice, and it has helped me so much on stage so that I can actually feel my legs up into my belly, creating a space for my breath to land. So if you're practicing this at home, soften your knees, engage your thighs, feel the strength of your thighs. If you're sitting, you can do this by pushing the balls of your feet into the ground and engaging your thighs so that you are in touch with the bottom half of your body. Now, I'm a little afraid just to share my next trick because even though my mom's not on Facebook, she does get my emails and she will be watching this at some point. And why I'm encouraged to share this with you today is because it's our right, it's our birthright as women to be in touch with all of our power centers. And what my stand is in the YoniVerse is that as women, when we get in touch with our yoni, we are engaged in another power source that we can actually bring into the world in a safe, enriching way. So if you're a woman, or you are identified as a woman, what I'm going to ask you to do to try on is getting in touch with your yoni in a really gentle way. First, just by imagining as your knees are softly bent, as energy is moving up your thighs, just bring your attention to your yoni. And if it feels right, this is a hot tip. I use it every time I get on stage because it helps me ground into who I am in my body. And it helps me relax and stay calm, that I'm safe. I'm safe to be here. So what I'm going to recommend you do is gentle yoni pulses. Slowing your breath down. Maybe your hand is on your heart, maybe it's on your belly. Energy is moving up your thighs and into your pelvis. And on the inhale, you're going to gently pulse your yoni. On your exhale, you're going to relax. Gently pulsing your yoni. Exhale and relax. Inhale in. Exhale, relax. Inhale in. Exhale, relax. Whatever degree you're practicing with me right now, allowing yourself to stay curious about the sensations in your body as you slow down. Gently. These are not kegels. We are not building muscle. We are tuning to the slow rhythm of our own body. Starting with our feet. Up through our yoni into our belly. And if a smile does start to come across your face, the more the better. Bring your aliveness, your joy, your excitement, and even some of your pleasure into the present moment. Begin to be aware of what is happening in your body as aliveness and excitement. And if any time you start to feel afraid, just slow it down. Let go of one or all of the tips and just return to your normal breathing. If your knees start to get tired, go ahead and straighten them. If you start to feel lightheaded by breathing in your nose and out your mouth, stop and just come back to your normal pace. There is no right or wrong way to do this. When I teach these exercises in the YoniVerse, I have women from all walks of life coming to study with me. Some of the women have a ton of yoga and qigong practice, and some women are just starting off in their exploration. And no matter where these women are on the spectrum, I find these practices a great starting place. A great starting place. Now, they can be a little enlivening. I had a woman come to study with me. Big, vibrant woman. Oh my God, so full of aliveness and so full of sparkle. And she was also suffering from heartbreak. It'd been years since she had fallen in love, and she wanted to be so badly. And when I started with these breathing practices with her, she would just wept. She'd been out of touch with her breath for so long that she couldn't feel her legs. So we began practicing very simply by slowing down the breath, then slowing down her voice, and eventually she dropped into her belly. More tears came. Each time she did these practices, she would ride a storm of grief that would land her more and more in her body. As she began practicing her story, a story that was near and dear to her about one of the loves of her life, she fell back into her practice of breathing as an anchor to help her stay in and not overwhelm herself with the fear that no one would like or appreciate her story, or overwhelm herself that she would never find love again. By the time she climbed on stage to tell in front of an audience of 100 people, many of them were community members, friends of hers, people who know her through her work, she took that seat solidly knowing that she could slow herself down and bring herself present and share the story of her lifetime. And she so delivered. I can still hear the audience roaring with laughter when she dropped those lines and then pausing and feeling into her real depth of emotion. And what I know is true is that if you decide to practice some of these exercises, that you can find your own pace with these exercises to help you overcome your fear. Now, I'm going to try and see. Yes, welcome, Sarah. So glad that you're here. Welcome, Natalie. So glad that you're here. I'm getting some messages on my phone right now, from some people who can't be on the Facebook Live, and I have a question I'd love to address with you right now. And that question is, what I'm hearing right now is that, what do I do if I get so nervous that I can't even sit still? That I can't even sit still long enough to slow my breathing down? What should I do? That was me at one time too. I couldn't just lock myself in the bathroom and start breathing deeply and pulsing into my yoni, and then everything was all good. So if you're that one, you're like, I need something more invigorating, my favorite thing to do is go for a walk, like a brisk walk, before I get on stage or before I get on camera, and really move my energy. Sometimes dispersing energy and getting really large is what you need to do to expel some of the fear and nervousness. And you may not be able to do that in a quiet, contained space. So if that's you, if you're that person, definitely get outside and move around. Definitely go out and move your energy. Definitely get big with enough time to come back in and ground. For some of you, you might need to go for a morning jog and really sweat it out, especially if you've had experiences where you've spoken in front of a group and it hasn't gone well. And you've got added fear of the memory of oh my God, that one time I really wasn't in my body. Okay, so get out and let it go. Melissa, I'm so glad you're here. Welcome to the call. I'm so glad that this is helping you get excited about the next time you're in front of an audience. If you have a question, please post below. I'd be happy to address it. What I really want to share is, like, ladies, there are so many different ways to be on stage, and being calm and grounded is going to allow you to be more authentic with your message. So I promised that I would offer something here, and if you're still on this call and you're listening to the replay, I have a gift for you. I would love to share with you some more of what it takes to really master your storytelling, because storytelling is really the wash, rinse, and repeat. Storytelling is really the way to really capture an audience. Storytelling is really the way to bring yourself forward, because all humans understand storytelling. Our brains are wired for it. And there's so many ways that you can use storytelling to grow yourself into leading groups and potentially healing something deep inside that needs to be released. So I would like to offer you all something, including joining our Storytelling Sisterhood page. So you all are here today live on the YoniVerse Monologues page, but there's a Storytelling Sisterhood page. So if you want to continue to get more storytelling tips and be a part of our group, we would love to have you. And you can hop right on over there right now, the Storytelling Sisterhood page on Facebook, and join us there. And the lives will continue there. This is part of a 3-day series. Did I say that? I'll be here again tomorrow morning, Monday, and Tuesday, sharing more with you. And if you know right now that you are about to deliver some content, teach a group, tell on stage, and you are feeling overwhelmed with your fear, and you'd like a little bit more support, I'd love to talk to you. For a limited time, I'm offering some story mastery breakthrough sessions. Those are 30 minutes of one-on-one time with me over the phone, where I can help give you some guidance towards what would help you really overcome your fear. You in particular. We all come from different walks of life and have a lot of different experiences. And for you, what would help you? I've helped hundreds of women step on stage and overcome their fear, which, by the way, is totally natural. This morning, I was so nervous myself that I found myself doing these exercises because I know that they work. Because every time I get in front of a group, I have a mixture of fear and excitement. And I want my excitement and aliveness to come through. So if you really want some extra support on how to master your storytelling, I'd love for you to take me up on this free gift. And my wing woman, Natalie, is going to post a link right here on the Facebook thread. There's a link to my calendar that you can hop on. I have limited spots next week, but I'd love to talk to you if that's true, especially if you're curious about the YoniVerse Monologues. We are opening up the doors and accepting applications to help women and those identified as women train in our program to really master the art of storytelling and in embodying your story so that you can take that story and tell it anywhere. My name is Serena Andrea, and I am the creatrix of the YoniVerse Monologues. And it has been my honor for the last 6 years to gather a group of women in a sacred circle for an 8-month program where we help you master and tell your personal life story for the benefit of all. So if that's you, please take me up on this free offer. Tomorrow morning, I will be back. Tomorrow, I am going to be sharing more secrets on how to capture the attention of any audience. Because the storytelling tricks that I've learned from my mentors like Clarissa Pinkola Estes and Michael Mead and Daniel Biddleston and Martine Prachtel are time-honored secrets that I want everyone to know. Because what I'm really a stand for is that storytelling is magic, healing, and creates connection amongst humans that is more captivating than anything else that comes out of our mouths. So please join me again tomorrow, right here, for how to capture the intention of any audience. And if you'd like to take me up on one of those free storytelling mastery breakthrough sessions, please click on the link below and we'll get you a link to my calendar right away so we can talk next week. That's what I have for this morning. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching the replay if that's true for you. Thank you. Big kiss to my wing woman, Natalie, who's got my back and my sides. And I'll be here again tomorrow. Until then, tell really good stories about yourself.